Well, recently Damstra Holdings reported a strong full-year results. Revenue rose to over 23 million, a gain of over 46%. Users and EBITDA both spiked, as well as the company hones in on its North American, Southeast Asia ventures. Let's get more. We're joined by Damstra Holdings Chief Executive Christian Damstra, joining us live from Denver via Skype. Welcome to the program, Christian. Pleasure to have you on the show. I guess when we look at your full year 20 results, a record full year performance, revenue, as we said, up about 47%. What drove this?
Yeah, look, it's been a very solid year for us, and we've had a lot of drivers. Obviously, COVID-19 affected a lot of businesses, but it also helped us along a little bit as well, because we're very well set up to help companies track, manage and protect their workforce. So that certainly drove some of it, but it's also off the back of some of the big contracts that we won in the last 12 months that are completing their rollouts and going extremely well. So that's what's really driving that growth for us.
Christian, the pandemic, did it change the trajectory that you're seeing in growth in user numbers, or did it go and slow it down? Can you give us some insight?
Look, it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. We had some customers see a slight pullback, and that pullback was mainly around restrictions in the geographic zone they were working in. But we also seen acceleration in some industries. For example, we signed our first education partner during the last few months as well, to help protect students going back to school with thermal imaging and contact tracing.
Yeah, so is that the key products that people have been interested during COVID? Has there been a real increase in inquiries around the contact tracing and some of the infrared services you have?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I always say to people buy products like ours for some type of event. They may have failed an audit, they may have injured somebody, or worst case scenario, had a fatality. But COVID-19 is also an event. People are looking at ways to bring their workforce back safely. And there's been a lot of panic buying in the last 6 months around COVID-19. And I think what people are starting to realise now is that COVID's here to stay for the immediate future, and they need sustainable solutions. And a handheld thermometer is not going to make that work for them.
So, Christian, when it comes to new customer pipeline, you're targeting services companies. What is going to be the strategy to go and get those customers onto the books?
Yeah, look, we've really grown our sales team, not only in Australia, but in the United States and the United Kingdom, and we're seeing good growth from that. We now have 2 senior vice president roles based in the US, a new vice president of sales starting very shortly, as well as strategic partnerships with 2 major partners now on board in the United States. We're seeing a huge amount of inquiries coming in, and over 200 presentations done in the last couple of months alone.
It's interesting because you talk about the fact that I think 25% of your revenues are generated internationally, but you're expecting a big step change. You've talked about in your results over the next 1 to 2 years to get the majority from international regions. Where in particular are you targeting? Is this all US based, I guess, because of the Volt acquisition?
Look, for us, that international growth really will be the North America, South America, and of course the United Kingdom. So they're really the areas where we see that large international growth coming from. That's going to drive us to the position where we'll have more international revenue than domestic.
And where do you stand on that Volt acquisition at the moment?
Look, Volt's going along extremely well. As you know, we got the federal court approval. Things are tracking along extremely well. We've just got to get through those final shareholder votes and those few last hurdles. We're really excited about the acquisition and the opportunity. We've been working closely with the team at Volt. We're setting up organisational structures. We're working through the software and all those types of things, so we can hit the ground running once that deal goes through, hopefully in October.
Christian, I'm intrigued about the product pipeline, the servicing operating node that you'll have in the future. What have you got in the pipeline when it comes to new service offerings for clients?
Look, we actually run on a 3-year product pipeline that we're constantly advancing based on our customers' needs. We don't like to talk too much publicly about some of the new advancements, but there's a lot of amazing things happening there, not only in the user experience, user interface and the reporting side of the world, but certainly there's a lot around those analytics and those types of things that customers are really pushing for at the moment. So we're really excited about where that's taking us. And of course, when you put Volt into the mix with the Volt Solo application, on top of our asset tracking and all those types of things, we really are closing off that end-to-end workforce management solution to help keep people safe.
Is Volt one of many? I mean, in terms of being a consolidator, some analysts have called you an active consolidator across sort of Europe and the United States. Is this how you see yourself, and have you got your eyes set on anything in particular?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think we've made no secret of it that it's a very fragmented industry that we work in, and we feel that we can do some of that consolidation if it's the right company at the right time. For us, it's about have they got the right products, the right people, the right customers? Is it in the right geography? I think it'd be remiss to say we're always looking. We're looking at over 100 companies at any one time in many different regions. Companies with great geographic revenue and things like that are definitely on our agenda. Finding those right quality companies is very important to us. One thing you'll note with every acquisition we do, we need to make that company cash flow generative and acquisitive on top of our normal revenue as quickly as possible, and we generally aim for under 3 months on that.
Organic growth is another thing that costs money. Are you happy with the current state of the balance sheet at the company? Do you envisage that you might have to go and tap shareholders for additional capital at some point this year?
There's certainly no pressing need to go and tap shareholders for any additional money at this point in time. We'll be well suited even after the Bolt acquisition with a very strong balance sheet of free cash flow sitting there. I think for us, we'll go back to the market when the right time comes around, and that would probably be in line with another acquisition if something comes across our desk that we like.
Yeah, I like seeing companies. I mean, obviously we love companies that pay dividends, but it's also great to reinvest that cash. And I know you've been reinvesting that cash back into the business, into growth, rather than paying out dividends at this point. Is that growth going towards your international expansions? Where are you specifically putting that cash?
Yeah, that's right. So it does go towards our international expansion. It also goes into product. I mean, 30% R&D spend last financial year, up from sort of circa 22% the year before. We're heavily investing in the product. Only about 20-25% of that is involved in bringing in these new organisations. The rest of it's around new product, new interfaces, new systems to make sure that we're at the forefront of technology. So we're going to continue to reinvest into the business.
Can I ask you on dividend then, is that something that would become a priority, and at what point?
Yeah, look, I think if we forecast maybe not this current period, the next period moving on, we'll certainly go back and revisit that. We do have a dividend policy, and we'll look to enact that at the right time. I think right now it's all about the growth of the business in that international marketplace. But I do think there will be a time in the future where we will go down that dividend route.
Christian, just a quick one to go and finish off. Speaking of the future, what is the main challenge over the next 12 months?
Oh, look, I think right now the challenge is where is the environment going to take us around COVID-19? What else is going to change in our immediate future? And really, it's a lot of those companies out there that are currently in financial stress because of the current environment conditions. And we need to find ways to work with them and get them back to work as soon as we can. So it's really a very up and down environment out there, and it's about understanding where other people are at so we can better service them.
Christian Damstra, Chief Executive at Damstra Holdings, thank you for your time this afternoon and enjoy your evening.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good day.